A very good evening to you. Thank you so much for tuning in to KUTV Primetime News at 9 here at the 12th day of the month of February, the year 2025. Indeed, we have so much stories lined up for you, including what court has for Sifona's fate. The highlights. Fired but unmoved. ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna refuses to vacate office as tribunal gives him temporary reprieve. Leo Omudende survives legal battle over Mary North seat as court upholds his victory. Ruto's Nyota Fund lands in Mandera amid anti-Shabab pledge. And in our special feature, health experts push for cancer screening in a bid to cut the cervical cancer deaths. And my co-pilot tonight is Mutava Mwongeli. But remember that this broadcast is also live across all our socials. On YouTube, it's KUTV News Kenya. On X, it's KUTV_Kenya. Now, the embattled ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna maintains that he is still the duly SG of the Orange Democratic Movement. This is despite his ouster from the position on the 11th of February the year 2026. In his defense, the SG claims that his refusal to support ODM plans and schemes that were evident within the party, alongside failing to back President William Ruto's re-election. Our senior political affairs reporter Auma Evans has more.
A day after the Orange Democratic Movement Party ousted the embattled Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna from powerful Secretary General seat, Sifuna was not slow to throw down the gauntlet to the party's hierarchy, maintaining that he is still the duly elected ODM Secretary General despite his ouster on Wednesday.
A blatant violation of the ODM constitution as well as the principles of natural justice. Remain a loyal member and the duly elected Secretary General of the ODM party. I remain committed to the struggle for a fair, just and democratic Kenya. As I navigate this period, I ask for your prayers and goodwill, but most importantly, for all of you to remain vigilant in guarding the freedoms that Raila Odinga taught us never to compromise over.
In a direct attack to party's leadership, the firebrand politician clapped back at his critics, accusing few individuals within the party ranks of receiving orders from the above.
It is also a known fact that regardless of what political deals Raila struck with different regimes, he would never have allowed his beloved party to be turned into a mere appendage of State House, where decisions are rubber-stamped after instructions are received from the regime. It is painful to note that sections of the party continue to desecrate the legacy and memory of Raila by turning this party into a theater of the illegal.
And I had said that if Sifuna goes, I will also go. I want to say that these members have agreed that we will fight the war, and we still recognize Sifuna as our legitimate Secretary General, as you will discover shortly. We want to say that there is a pair in this party which is an axis of evil. They know themselves, I'm not going to mention their name, who are working day and night to assist William Ruto to wreck this party.
Sifuna maintains that his only crime was his refusal to support ODM plans and schemes within the party to support President William Ruto's re-election.
Indeed, as far as internal differences in opinion go, my only crime is that I have refused and I oppose any plans and schemes within the party to support President William Ruto's re-election, because I have held and continue to hold the firm position that this country cannot afford another 5 years of this expensive, divisive, incompetent and disastrous Ruto misadventure.
Sifuna holds the opinion that his ouster is a coordinated war against him, and he will not bow to pressure from people threatened by his presence in ODM leadership, disputing claims that he has not been adhering to party's resolutions.
At no time have I been informed of any allegations against me, be they of indiscipline, insubordination, or incompetence in the execution of my duties as the Secretary General. Neither have I been invited to respond to any complaints in and out of the party on any matter that would constitute grounds for removal of a Secretary General. Consequently, no lawful organ of the party has invited me to any hearing.
A victim of an inevitable fallout that followed the demise of former Prime Minister Raila Odinga for defiant Sifuna, the dice was already cast. Just like his rise to the pinnacle of Kenyan politics was fast and furious, his fall is in similar fashion as he pursues legal pathway to salvage his powerful ODM Secretary General seat. Auma Evans for KUTV, Nairobi.
Sticking with that, the Political Parties Dispute Tribunal has stopped the ouster of ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna, stating that it is unconstitutional. The tribunal made the ruling in the afternoon hours, stated that Sifuna's application was certified, further suspending the implementation of the resolution that was passed by ODM National Executive Committee on the 11th of February, the year 2026. The ODM leadership has now been barred from gazetting any information of change of position until the matter is settled within 7 days. And on to Mandera. President William Ruto today toured Mandera County, where he engaged local leaders, security officials and residents on key development and security priorities. During his tour, the president reaffirmed the government's commitment to restoring lasting peace in the region, pledging sustained action against terrorism, and cross-border insecurity. He said improved security would unlock economic opportunities and enhance trade. Ruto also highlighted ongoing and planned infrastructure projects, noting that roads, markets, and social amenities would be upgraded to spur growth. The head of states urged residents to support government initiatives, emphasizing unity and collaboration in driving transformation in the northeastern region.
Nyinyi nawaomba na viongozi wa Mandera, sisi wote tuwe ni watu ambao tutapigana na Al-Shabaab. Hawa Al-Shabaab ni watu bure. Mimi nataka niwaeleze, mimi na nyinyi tutaungana, serikali ya Kenya tutashirikiana, nyinyi mtusaidie tuweze kukabiliana na wahuni na magaidi, ndio Mandera hii iendelee na maendeleo, iendelee na biashara, ndio Mandera ikue na isaidie kuchangia katika uchumi wa taifa letu la Kenya. Mimi niko na short term solution na niko na long term solution. Short term solution, next week tunawaletea generator ya 3 megawatts kusaidia nyinyi kufanya ile short term solution. Lakini ya muhimu zaidi, tunaunganisha stima kutoka Ethiopia 70 kilometers na Mandera hii, ndio tuweke Mandera kwa national grid.
After the High Court in Embu rejected election petition number A001 of the 2025 contesting his election, Mbeere North Member of Parliament Leo Wamuthende Njeru achieved a significant legal win Justice R. Mwongo dismissed the case in a decision issued on February the 12th, since the petitioners had neglected to provide the appropriate security for expenses as stipulated in Section 78 of the Election Act. On December the 31st, 2025, Julieta Karigi Kithumbu and Patrick Gichoni filed a petition to overturn the election's outcome. However, the court determined that the case was incompetent because the petitioners failed to submit the necessary 500,000 security within the 10 days of filing the petition.
Yeyote anayekuja kotini kuchallenge uchaguzi huja kuchallenge uchaguzi kwa mujibu wa sheria. Kwa hivyo lazima naye afuate sheria. Wakati hii petition number 1 iliwekwa kwa koti, tulipata kuona iko na hiyo shortcoming na tukaweka application kwa niaba ya mbunge wa Mbeere North, Honorable wa Mutende, tukitaka kutupiliwa bali kwa hiyo petition ambayo haijaambatana na sheria.
Pia kuna hiyo maombi kutoka kwa Newton Kariuki, jile masanduku ifunguliwe, kura zihesabiwe, ziangaliwe tena, na pia kuna maombi zile KIMS-kit, zile mashine ambazo tulitumia za biometrics zifunguliwe, tuone ama kwamba zile ile data iko kwa ile biometric inafanana na ama itatoshana na zile ballot ambazo zilitumiwa.
Moving on, as drug abuse among students continues to raise alarm, calls have been made on parents and other education stakeholders to collaborate to ensure the war against drug and alcohol abuse among learners is won, saying the fight requires guidance at school, home, and active community involvement.
Parents, schools and communities urged to fight student drug abuse as misuse rises, and experts call for guidance at home, mentorship in schools and active community involvement. Speaking at Narok Teachers Training College, Narok Central Deputy County Commissioner Kennedy Mwangome urged parents to take an active role in shaping their children's morals and behavior, noting that the government has launched a strategy to prevent the use of illicit substances.
Mkia leo tumeweza kunasa lori ambayo iko na bidhaa za pombe ambazo tuna suspect kwamba inaweza kuwa ni counterfeit. Hii mambo ya kupigana na unywaji wa pombe kiholela na mambo ya abuse ya pombe na madawa ya kulevya, lazima sasa tuweze kuyachukulia kijamii. Tunaelewana hapo? Lazima tuyachukulie kijamii.
Narok Teachers College Principal Joseph Kiminta said the sensitization drive is very important, noting that drugs have destroyed many lives, especially among the youths.
Drug abuse is a menace in our society, and where we are getting to, it should be a concern from the government, because our sisters and brothers from the other side like actually, and I'm sorry to say this, but it's always good to say the truth, they like misusing the youth, our leaders, and not all of them. They like misusing our youth through the administration of drugs so that they can easily be manipulated.
According to the National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse, NACADA, over 4.7 million Kenyans aged 15 to 65, about 1 in 6 currently, use some form of drugs.
For the past few days, we have engaged in meaningful discussions, sensitization sessions, and awareness activities focused on preventing alcohol and drug use and drug misuse in our county. We have spoken openly about the risk associated with substance, the impact on mental health, academic performance, relationships, and future careers. Most importantly, we have emphasized that prevention is possible and that each one of us has a role to play.
Parents, schools and communities are now expected to work together in fighting drug abuse. Atenka Negunda, KUTV.
Now it's exactly 18 minutes past 9, time to take a breather, but expect a health feature by Edna Nerea.
Miti miti, panda panda, miti miti. Our planet's future is in our hands. However, there is a threat to the brightness of this tomorrow. On EarthCheck, we share the challenges, the solutions, and the hope.
I would call this a very momentous day, a very critical day.
Every episode, every story, every step we take creates a ripple. Join me, the environmentalist Emmanuel Kutosi, on KUTV every Wednesday at 8 p.m. and be part of EarthCheck. Welcome.
A new era, a new people. This is the Law Matters Show. A program that brings you legal sensitization on your television.
My statement is written and just the quote the prosecution.
I think that this loss is a setback for Raila Odinga.
What policy recommendations were fronted by the candidate?
With diversity, we demystify important legal issues locally, regionally, and internationally.
What Tanzanians.
Join me, Elvin Onsongo, as I bring you more insights on law matters.
We are looking at social issues. What is the problem? Is it the economy? Is it...
Law Matters Show, creating awareness, advocacy, and enhancing lives.
Welcome back, and let's keep on informing you. Now on to the health feature. Cervical cancer remains one of the leading causes of cancer-related death among women in Kenya. Yet, it is one of the most preventable cancers when detected early. In a special feature today, Edna Nerea tells us the must-do things to help cut cervical cancer deaths.
Despite available screening and vaccination, thousands of women are still diagnosed with advanced stage cancer, making treatment difficult and costly. Cervical cancer affects the cervix and the lower part of the uterus, which is mainly caused by persistent infection with the human papilloma virus HPV. Doctor says the disease develops slowly, making regular screening critical for early detection and treatment.
Find that the cervix are different from the rest of the uterus and other reproductive parts.
Speaking at Kenyatta University Teaching, Referral and Research Hospital, Dr. Yvonne Wekesa, a specialist in obstetrics and gynecology, noted that while HPV infections are common, between 95% and 99% of cervical cancer cases are linked to the human papilloma virus. She emphasized that vaccination and regular screening are the most effective tools for preventing the disease.
Like we said, HPV is the major cause of cervical cancer, and HPV virus causes about 95 to 99% of cervical cancer. But HPV by itself is not, like we said, most women get infected. So the factors that will make one have persistent infection is what will define whether you go on to get cervical cancer or not. So in addition to the HPV infection, if you also have other factors like anything that affects your immunity.
Dr. Yvonne Wekesa states that the HPV vaccine prevent high-risk virus strains before infection occurs, significantly reducing the risk of cervical cancer and strengthening long-term immunity for girls and women.
Cancer being broader because it's not just cervical cancer, like I said, it causes many other cancers. So it causes vaginal, vulval, penile, oral, pharyngeal. All these cancers will be prevented by the vaccine. But also we have non-cancerous effects of HPV virus. So
Dr. Yvonne Wekesa explained administering the HPV vaccine to girls aged 9 to 15 helps build early immunity, greatly reducing their risk of developing cervical cancer later in life.
And what it does is that it prevents you from acquiring the HPV virus. So that's why we often want to give it before the onset of sexual activity, because we want to get these girls at an age where they have not yet been exposed to HPV. That's why we are promoting this amongst girls 9 to 15 years, because we think that beyond that, really, you have missed the window. So the HPV vaccine sort of prevents you from acquiring the HPV virus.
According to the ministry, nearly 6,000 women are diagnosed with cervical cancer each year, with approximately half of them dying. The mortality rates have been attributed prevalence of late diagnosis.
Cervical cancer is a serious but preventable disease, and going by statistics, it is the second leading cause of cancer deaths among women in Kenya. And almost 6,000 women are diagnosed every year, and more than half of those women die because of the same. And why do these women die? It is because of one, late diagnosis, because cervical cancer develops very slowly.
According to the Principal Secretary, State Department for Public Health and Professional Standards at the Ministry of Health, Kenya remains committed to eliminating cervical cancer as a public health problem, targeting 90% HPV vaccination for girls, 70% screening for eligible women, and 90% treatment for diagnosed cases under the WHO strategy.
We are going to meet the 90% set for vaccination of girls and 70% of screening of the women. In Kenya particularly, we are not even half of screening our women because we are below 50%. Most women do not go to hospitals. Most women are not getting screened. And we also want to go at 90% treatment.
On the other hand, Dr. Yvonne Wekesa highlighted a common misconception among parents that the HPV vaccine encourages early sexual activity. She clarified that the vaccine's sole purpose is to prevent cervical cancer, stressing its safety and critical role in protecting girls before exposure to HPV.
The common misconception is that this vaccine gives permission to girls to go ahead and engage, which is not the message. We are trying to promote this as a cancer-preventing vaccine, as opposed to, permission to engage in sexual activity. Yeah, and also it's important for parents to know that this is the most number of deaths from cancer in our country are from cervical cancer. We have a very high cervical cancer burden. It is number one in terms of mortality or deaths in this country. And so these are our children, these are our mothers, these are our sisters, so we cannot shy away from having these discussions and conversations.
Peace Muthoni stressed that no woman should die from a preventable and treatable disease, urging all women to undergo regular cervical cancer screening for early detection and better outcomes.
Nobody, no woman should die. No woman should die out of a preventable disease. No woman should die when we can vaccinate the girls early. No woman should die when the disease is treatable. It can be prevented, it can be detected early, and it can be treated.
PS Mary Mudhoni unveiled an 80,000 shilling cervical cancer treatment package, a landmark initiative aimed at improving access to care and tackling high mortality among Kenyan women.
At the moment, SHA has a package of 800,000 for treatment of cancer, and that should be a motivation that if you are sick, then you must be treated.
Cervical cancer, largely caused by HPV, remains a serious yet preventable disease. Experts urge early vaccination, regular screening, and public awareness to save lives, highlighting strong community acceptance and accessible treatment packages. Edna Nerea, KUTV, Nairobi.
Thank you, Nerea, for that comprehensive report. Now, Kenya will lead the global discourse on building crisis-proof tourism system as it seeks to cement its credentials as a Pan-African resilience hub at the 4th Global Tourism Resilience Day Conference and Expo to be held in Nairobi. Cabinet Secretary for Tourism and Wildlife Rebecca Miano says that Kenya's selection was informed by shared vulnerabilities in the face of global disruptions and Kenya's commitment to wavering resilience, sustainability, and crisis preparedness into its tourism sector. This will be the first time that the United Nations anchored event will be hosted in Africa, with over 400 delegates and 40 expert speakers from across the world expected to grace the 3-day event at the Kenyatta International Convention Center from February the 16th to 18th.
Which the minister will.
I speak from the city of Nairobi, that is preparing to host a critical conversation slated to run between 16th to the 18th of February 2026 on tourism resilience. Kenya is indeed honored to host the 4th Global Tourism Resilience Day Conference and Expo at the Kenyatta International Convention Center for those 3 days. The high-level assembly will bring together over 400 delegates and 40 expert speakers from across the world. These experts are from Jamaica, the United Arab Emirates, the United Kingdom, South Africa, Kenya, and elsewhere across. The conference is informed by our shared vulnerabilities in the face of global disruptions, and more importantly, to our collective resolve to overcome them.
And that tourism feature, or rather story, takes us to another second break. We'll be back with more stories. Do stay tuned.
Ninakukaribisha rasmi kwenye mitindo ya kipwani, kipindi kinachokuza utamaduni wa kipwani, nikikuletea mazungumzo ya moja kwa moja na wataalamu, vyakula vilivyopikwa na kukorombezwa, viungo mwake vya kipwani, ngoma zetu za asilia za Kimijikenda, bila kusahau tarabu na chakacha. Yaani wanawake wa Uswahilini watakuwa wakinengua na kuzungusha viuno. kama Panga Boy za Trekta ndani ya mitindo ya kipwani Kutv, ukiletewa moja kwa moja kutoka Salama Bling Beach Resort kila Jumamosi saa 10 jioni na Jumapili saa 4 usiku, ukiwa nami mtamu wako zaidi ya asali. Mimi naitwa Waridi Tamu. Mpenzi mtazamaji, usipitwe na matamu.
Welcome back, and let's be sporty. National Women Under-20 football team Rising Starlets are leaving nothing to chance ahead of their return leg encounter against host Tanzania in FIFA Under-20 World Cup qualifiers that is set for the 14th of February 2026 at Azam Complex Stadium in Dar es Salaam. The Jacqueline Juma-led charge is wary of Tanzania threat, but the team is upbeat of a positive outing in a high-stake match. Kenya heads to the qualifiers with a slim 1-0 advantage over their East African nation, and win against Tanzania will see them edge closer to the World Cup dream scheduled for next year in Poland.
Coaches wametutrain, zile safari imekuwa poa, tumefika Tanzania, tumetrain. Coaches wametutrain, zile weaknesses zilikuwa kwa ile game tumeshawakia, na tuko ready kwa second leg. Tunajua haitakuwa rahisi, lakini pia sisi sio rahisi. Lazima tutafight, tutapush, na ikienda vizuri tunaenda kuwin. Morale iko juu, tumetrain, kila mtu ana believe tutashinda na tutashinda. Hii game ni important sana kwa sababu vision yetu ni kwenda World Cup, na hii game lazima tushinde. Hii game ndio tuende World Cup, so hii game ni very important for us. Lazima to win, it's a must win ndo tuweze kufika kwa vision yetu ya kwenda World Cup. Okay, opponents wetu wako na pressure mingi juu sisi tayari tuko na advantage ya 1-0, so ni kwenda kuconfirm kwamba tukapiga kibahati, tuliwapiga, tunaweza. Kwangu kibinafsi ni very important, ni chance poa kuja kutrain na coaches wazuri, teammates pia ni wazuri, so una learn sana, ni inakufanya una improve as a player, unaona weaknesses zako penye unafaa kuwork ndo usonge mbele as a player. Mashabiki wa Kenya wenye wako Dar es Salaam, tunaweza waambia tu wakiweza wajitokeze wakuja support wa Kenya wenzao. Tumekuja kwa represent ndo watupatie hata psych na pia morale ya kucheza wenye wako huko.
Now, with regards to our first and second story, there is something here. Do you stand with ODM, Linda Ground, or ODM, Linda Wananchi, or is it just ODM party? That's all we had for you tonight on KTV Primetime News at 9 here on the 12th day of February, the year 2026. My name is Ochieng Cynthia, but I was actually to mention Mutava Mwangeli because it's just human to put someone else before you, right? But do have a good night and a lovely one.